Hi everyone. I said I'd make a short video about how to answer question number 9 in the review packet, so here it is. So let's read through the problem first. A study investigating the effects of eating multiple servings of leafy greens tries to determine how it affects cardiovascular disease. And so we're given a little bit of information here. 47% of Americans, right? That means this is baseline, right? So this is going to require the 4 steps, right? 47% of all Americans have at least one of the risk factors for cardiovascular disease. And then we know that eating 1 serving of leafy greens daily can lower the risk by 11%. So this is our reduction in risk, right? So those are going to be 2 important pieces of information. The other thing that we know is that the study consisted of 2 groups, a control group and a treatment group. Each group had 300 individuals. The control group did not eat any leafy greens. The treatment group had 3 servings of leafy greens. So we're going to look at what happens when we have multiple servings. So first and foremost, how many individuals in the control group are at risk of cardiovascular disease? Well, there are 300 members in the control group. The baseline risk for cardiovascular disease is 47%. So we would multiply these together and we would get 141 people out of 300. Question number 2 says, determine the risk if individuals in the treatment group eat 3 servings of leafy greens daily. So this is going to require the 4 steps. And I'm going to do that work on another piece because I need to have a little bit more room. So first we identify the baseline risk. We already did that, 47% or 0.47. Step 2 is where we have to deal with the 3 servings. So 3 servings. Now the reduction in risk is 11% or 0.11. And what we did in class, if you don't remember this, when we have multiple servings or multiple consecutive uses of percentages, we have to consider if 11% is reduced, how much is left? And that would be 89% or 0.89. And we do that 3 times because we are talking about 3 servings. When we multiply them together, we get 0.705 or 70.5%. We subtract that from 100%, and we get 29.5%. This is our new reduction in risk. Originally, we were going to reduce our risk by 11%, but now we can reduce our risk by 29.5% because we are eating our leafy greens. Okay, so what we do now is step 3. Step 3 is we take the baseline and we multiply it times our reduction in risk. And when we multiply those together, we get 13.9. So I'm going to round this up and say that this is about 14%. And then step 4 is that we take the baseline percent, and in this case we're going to subtract the reduction in risk, and so 33%. Or 33 people out of 100 are at risk, whereas initially 47 out of 100 were originally at risk. Okay, so there's our new risk for cardiovascular disease. And then if we go back to here, back to this here, so we figured out the risk was 33% if we have 3 servings, and then how many individuals in the treatment group would be at risk. So We have 300 people in the treatment group. 33% of them are at risk. And if we do the multiplication, we get about 100. So originally 141 individuals were at risk, now only 100. So 41 fewer people. So keep in mind, this is going to be a bonus question, but if you just follow the 4 steps and just are careful about step number 2, you will be fine. If you have any questions, let me know.